And I want to bring in Sajid Tarar and Shivani Sharma, my colleague and our guest from the United States on this broadcast. Sajid Tarar, apologies, I had to interrupt you as that breaking news and those visuals came in. Complete your point, sir. Should Pakistan be embarrassed? Will details now, Pakistan's skeletons, come tumbling out of the closet?
Today, I want to say today's word, there is no room for terrorism, or there is no room for this kind of activity in the world. Matter of fact, I witnessed the Bombay massacre, and that day, frankly speaking, I cried myself the way they have butchered innocent people. And today, I will say that what goes around comes around. And today, the Rana coming to the India, matter of fact, is a big victory of law and order. It's a big victory for India. And even then, David Headley has to see what he have done to the people, innocent people. There is no room for terrorism in 2025. So, matter of fact, I definitely condemn the act of Bombay massacre. And whatever he has done, he has to suffer it. He has to pay for that. That's what I believe in.
No, but tell me this, Pakistan's Foreign Office, and I'm sure you heard the Pakistan Foreign Office spokesperson washing their hands off, saying he's a Canadian national now. He hasn't renewed his Pakistani card for 2 decades. Can Pakistan wash its hands off, or is Pakistan playing a very dangerous game even today, sir?
No matter of fact, I think Pakistan has a moral obligation to clarify themselves that they are not involved in it. Because this just saying that he's not a Canadian, he's not a Pakistani citizen, is not sufficient enough. He was born there, or they have to at least prove it that they were not involved in it. Because at the same time, I give them the benefit of a doubt, because a lot of Pakistanis, those have left Pakistan, they have been fighting in Afghanistan, they have been fighting in Syria and Yemen and a lot of places, and ultimately the state of Pakistan is not responsible for that. But they have to prove, they have to tell them, they have to prove it to the world and India at the same time that they are not involved in it.
I'm sorry, sir, you're being naive. Sir, Sajid Tarar, permit me, sir. Pakistan's state was involved, and there is evidence in public domain that implicates Pakistan. And that information is Abu Jundal, who was sitting in that Karachi control room. There is Hafiz Saeed. There's David Coleman Headley. And, so those madarsa chap Pakistanis will never concede. You're a highly educated man and you live in the United States, and you have criticized Pakistan state-sponsored terror in the past. So you will understand, when the Federal Bureau of Investigation in Chicago trapped David Coleman Headley and Tahawwur Rana, sir, I covered that trial in Chicago. They found evidence of David Coleman Headley being in touch with a certain Ilyas Kashmiri, with Hafiz Saeed, giving details of the training that Major Iqbal of Pakistan Army. There is electronic evidence, there are email exchanges, there is money trail. That's an open and shut case, FBI case, not NIA, not Indian case, FBI case. Now Pakistan cannot be given benefit of the doubt, sir. Pakistan needs to prosecute, which it hasn't since 2008. Now we're in 2025.
I definitely agree with you. If these are the charges, I'm telling you, the Pakistan has to clarify. They have to prove it that they are not behind it. Or if they are, how they were or whatever they were. Plus, at the same time, let me tell you, the Pakistan, of course, in the past has a very tainted past at the same time when the Russia came to Afghanistan. And here, keep in your mind, the Pakistan itself is a victim of terrorism right now. Almost more than 1,500 people lost their lives in Pakistan in 2024. So the thing is this, that they have to step up. I definitely agree with you that if these are the things, they have to tell the world, they have to tell India, they have to take the steps. And I tell you one thing, the Pakistan's survival, Pakistan's growth is contingent upon a relationship with India, Bangladesh, Iran and Afghanistan, and they have to take care of their neighbors. This is definitely, I agree with you. It's not that I'm disagreeing with you, but it's a charge sheet. The Pakistan has to prove the ball is on their court. I definitely agree with you 100%. And I condemn whatever they did. And I told you that day that I feel the pain of the innocent Indians losing their lives that night in Mumbai.
Another point that I want to raise, and I want to bring in my colleague Shivani also, and I want you to hear, because you are heard very widely even in Pakistan. You can drum some sense into those people which the world unfortunately hasn't succeeded. You see, Pakistan was involved not just in 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks in 2008, because India did not respond the way Narendra Modi government did after Pulwama by bombing Balakot. Pakistan attacked us again. After 26/11 Mumbai terror attacks, there was a blast in German bakery. There was an attack that took place in Pune. There was an attack that took place in Zaveri Bazar, in Mumbai once again. Then there were attacks that took place in Pulwama, in Pathankot, in Uri, in Samba, in Kathua, in Udhampur. Pakistan continued its terror because it thought, okay, there is no response from India. It's a weak, the way that so-called Ghazwa-e-Hind, that these are chaps who will never hit back. They'll only threaten aar-par ki ladai. Till the time Narendra Modi decided that enough is enough and he bombed Balakot, after which there hasn't been a single terror attack outside Jammu Kashmir. How do you view that? Before I bring in Shivani, I want you to respond. Why did Balakot change the equation in your appreciation? No terror attack in India after 2019 outside Jammu Kashmir.
I definitely agree with you. They have, like I told you, this if they have to move forward with, from this point, whatever they believe in, the good Taliban or bad Taliban, good terrorism, a good terrorist or bad terrorist, they have to change that. They have to move forward with the neighbors. They have to solve these issues. They have to come with the clean hands. They have to satisfy India and all other neighbors that we are not behind, that we are not promoting it. The ball is in their court. I'm telling you. But the thing is this, a regime has changed there in Pakistan at the same time. And maybe that today's regime is not behind some of the recent attacks, or maybe they are not supporting the recent, or any new activities or something, but they still have to clarify the whatever the plan is. What kind of relationship they want to have with the neighbors. I definitely, recommend this to the Pakistan. They have to come clean and they have to make sure that our neighbors are safe, lives are saved, and Pakistan is not, or any other state, matter of fact, frankly speaking, every life on this planet is important, every life. They have to realize that in 2025, there is no room for terrorism.
I completely agree with you, sir. I wish there were more like you in Pakistan, or people listen to you in Pakistan, because my big apprehension is that Pakistan still lives in whatever century, 7th century, 14th century, we do not know, that they're still waging Ghazwa-e-Hind. Every Pakistani thinks he's some Qasim trying to wage jihad against India, but they don't realize that they never succeeded.
This is what I always tell them, that you have to move forward with artificial intelligence. You have to learn from India. You have to adjust with the world versus like exactly whatever you're telling me, that moving back towards the Taliban kind of a mindset, towards whatever the 7th century, 14th century. But the thing is this, even then in 1400th century, killing somebody cannot give you anything, or hurting somebody. I hope somebody's listening to me. I'm continuously preaching that we have been living in this area since centuries. We have to live in peace. We have to give a chance to a love and harmony. That is the only way forward.
And I want to bring in my colleague Shivani, and I want you to stay with us, sir, because this is a very important discussion. And as you know well, India First and India Today is very widely watched on either side of the border. Shivani, what is very important, because Pakistan has given us sweet words in the past. I have covered a lot of these cases, Shivani, when Atal Bihari Vajpayee, then Prime Minister in 1999, was going on that Lahore bus to Pakistan. Pakistan was sending in its army in India and waging that Kargil war against us. Musharraf said, I will not let the Pakistani territory be used against India. And we had a series of train blasts, 200 people died in Mumbai. So I can, rattle off these statistics because I've covered all these terror attacks. But Shivani, India does not want sweet words from Pakistan. India wants sweet action. India wants action against Hafiz Saeed, isn't it, Shivani? That is what government of India has been insisting. Take action against Hafiz Saeed. Take action against Masood Azhar. But do we see that happening at all, Shivani?
It's just not happening from the Pakistan side, and this is the issue why this whole investigation got delayed. Whatever evidences, whatever support was required of Pakistan for this investigation was denied by Pakistan. Pakistan has been lying in a number of cases, even though there is enough evidence in this particular attack also, 26/11 attack also, Gaurav, and the investigation that had been moving ahead was halted because of the attitude of Pakistan Pakistan and the denial it has been making, but there are enough evidences that the agencies have already put forth in this particular massacre that took place. Not only Headley and Tahawwur Rana, but there are more faces that will be brought to justice. They will be brought ahead and they will be exposed once again with the fact that how they were getting support from Pakistan, how these conspirators, the conspirators were not only in India, but also they had some support from Pakistan. And now when the investigation has already started, the whole focus is at the NIA court right now, Gaurav, where the proceedings, the in-camera proceedings have already started. And very soon, when layers of this investigation will get unfolded, we'll get to know more about this particular conspiracy, this attack, the 26/11 attack, and the world knows about Pakistan, how it has been lying, it has been claiming and hiding its own casualties. We've been reporting it every day, and in this particular matter also, Pakistan might try to wash off its hands of Tahawwur Rana and his being a Pakistani, but the fact remains that he is a Pakistani. He has been involved in this conspiracy with the support of Pakistani terrorists. He has been in close communication with the ISI, he has been in close communication with the lashkar-e-taiba terrorists, and he has been conspiring, planning, facilitating their movements, logistics, information in India that made this massacre possible on 26/11.
And you know, all this information, Sajid Tarar, I want to draw you into this conversation once again. So when 26/11 happened, there was tremendous international outrage because 6 Americans had died, a large number of Jewish people died in that Chabad house, a large number of Europeans had died in these 166 who were massacred, and the world watched it live on television, including that conversation, incidentally, a conversation that took place between these Pakistani terrorists and their handlers in Karachi, that was also traced back. But sir, I want to draw your attention to an investigation that was carried out by Pakistan's Federal Investigation Agency. There was a person called Mr. Khosa who was heading FIA. His investigation found out that Kasab and the 9 other terrorists were trained in Pakistan. They were trained in Thatta, Sindh. The same bullets that were fired in Mumbai were recovered from a safe house in Thatta, Sindh. Same markings of Pakistan Ordnance Factory, POF markings in grenades. That's not all, sir. Pakistan Navy trained them in operating a speedboat, that dinghy boat that they used. That Yamaha engine was sold by Japan to Pakistan that was used in that boat. That boat was then quickly repainted, that dropped these terrorists to international waters and came back. I know this because I've covered this case in Mumbai and in Chicago and followed the trial that took place in Pakistan from India. Unfortunately, the terrorists were never punished, sir. In fact, terrorists were giving birth to children in Adiala jail. Terrorists like Zarar Shah and Zakir Rahman Lakwi. Chacha ji was giving birth to people in jail, sir. क्या action लेता है पाकिस्तान terrorists के खिलाफ? No action against Hafiz Saeed.
It's a very sad reality, to be honest with you. There is no excuse. There is nothing. Whatever you're just telling me, it is an embarrassing situation. But here at the same time, like I told you, this is not the state. We have to move forward with it. Even then today, let me tell you, if I'm watching, because I'm living in Washington, D.C., and I'm stay on the current affairs, whatever is happening in Balochistan today, whatever happens in Pakistan, they are blaming everything on India, and whatever is happening there, they are blaming there. But there is no clarification for Bombay attacks. Whatever happened that day,
that's false equivalence. What I have listed out to you is evidence vetted by courts of law in India and in the United States of America. What Pakistan is giving is ISI spiel. There's a big difference. There is not an iota of evidence of alleged Indian involvement in Balochistan. Not a shred of evidence. In fact, that Commander Kulbhushan Jadhav that Pakistan often talks about was abducted from Iran and taken to Pakistan. That has also been proven in courts of law. So, sir, since we track these stories very closely, Pakistani lies, what Pakistani state, because ISI, my personal appreciation is they're very low IQ'd people because we've seen them over the years. We've seen what happened in 47, 48, we've seen 65, we've seen 71. पाकिस्तान के आईक्यू में थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम है सर. वो टैक्टिकल लेवल कमांडर है, जनरल बन जाते हैं, माइंडसेट टैक्टिकल रहता है, कंपनी कमांडर का रहता है, वो बड़ा सोच ही नहीं पाते, एंड दैट इज व्हाई दे गेट कॉट आउट. They get caught out, sir.
And maybe that is one of the reasons, matter of fact, whatever is going on in Pakistan right now, they are victim of whatever they have done in the past. So the thing is this, Like I told you, they have to change. They have to move forward with it, with the neighbors. They have to prove them that they are not behind all of these things. And we are moving forward with the trade and artificial intelligence. And we have to become a good neighbor. That is the only solution I have been always trying to promote and trying to tell people. So the thing is, there is no solution without having a relationship with the India, with the Iran, with Afghanistan, and with all the neighbors. So that is the only way forward. I mean, in 2025, there is no room for, they cannot stay on the same status. They have to move forward with it. They have to take the baby steps or the major steps to tell India that we will be a good neighbor in the future.
So why doesn't it happen in your view? Why doesn't it happen? Because I've heard this many times. You know, I've heard Musharraf say, my territory will not be used against India. I've heard him say all the sweet things even in Agra. We covered the Agra summit and still on ground nothing changes. The deep state, ISI is too powerful.
Yes. No, in the future, if they have to move forward and improve their economy, or they have to start a trade with India or something. They have to make sure that they are not behind anything. They are not against the Indian people or their welfare of it. They have to change. This is I'm always trying to preach and teach. This is what I always do that. Because I like I told you, I condemn every single terrorist attack on the planet, because this is not the move forward. This is not this is barbarian steps. And I told you that whatever happened in Mumbai,
I agree with you. It's a barbaric state.